Kai stepped off the transport ship onto the surface of Zorath, the Academy planet known across the galaxy for producing the strongest warriors. The ground beneath him was a glowing silver metal, and strange spires of crystal towered toward the sky. Alien cadets walked around him, their forms varying from six-limbed creatures with scales to beings with smooth metallic skin. Their eyes glowed in colors Kai had never seen before. He felt small and out of place. He adjusted his simple uniform, which seemed ordinary compared to the shining armor of the other cadets. They were tall, muscular, and confident. Some had weapons slung across their backs, while others displayed small glowing devices that shimmered with energy. Kai's hands shook slightly. He had trained on Earth, but Earth training seemed tiny compared to what he faced here. A booming voice echoed from a high platform above. "Welcome to the Interstellar Academy. Only the strongest and cleverest will survive here. May the trials shape you into warriors worthy of the galaxy." Kai watched as cadets cheered. He tried to smile, but inside he felt a knot of fear. Some of the cadets noticed him and whispered among themselves, "Is that a human? Pathetic. Look at him. He won't last a day." Weak, tiny, useless, Kai's ears burned. He tried to ignore them, walking toward the area assigned to him. Every step felt heavy. He wanted to turn back, but he knew he could not. This was his chance to show that humans were not weak, even if everyone else believed so. As he entered the dormitory hall, he met other first-year cadets. One of them, a tall alien with blue skin named Kor, sneered. "You are a human, right? Why are you even here? You will just slow us down." Kai lifted his chin. "I may be small, but I can learn fast." His voice sounded braver than he felt. The other cadets laughed. "Learn fast? That is funny. Look at him. He can barely lift a training sword." Kai picked up the dull practice sword from the rack. It was heavier than he expected, but he tried to lift it with both hands. He managed, but the sword wobbled. Kor laughed and slapped him on the back hard enough to almost knock him down. "Careful, human. You might break yourself before the trial begins." Kai felt anger rise, but he held it inside. He did not want to fight yet. He wanted to survive the first week without injury. But his mind raced. Humans were small compared to aliens, but they had something the others did not: cleverness, endurance, and adaptability. Kai explored the academy, noticing how advanced it was. Rooms had glowing panels that displayed energy flows. Weapons hung in transparent tubes waiting for cadets to learn. The hallways twisted in strange patterns, and floating platforms moved cadets from one level to another. He felt overwhelmed, but he kept moving. During the first lessons, the instructors emphasized strength, speed, and energy control. Aliens could lift enormous weights, run faster than Kai could imagine, and control energy that could blast rocks apart. Kai struggled, failing the first exercises. His arms ached from lifting weights smaller aliens carried easily. His legs tired after only a short sprint. The other cadets watched him and laughed quietly. Some whispered insults that made Kai want to disappear. He felt the eyes of everyone on him, expecting him to fail. For a moment he thought of leaving. He thought of returning to Earth, of going back to a place where he could hide from ridicule. But then he remembered why he had come. He had come to prove that humans were more than what the galaxy believed. Humans were clever, adaptable, and capable of surprising even the strongest. He could not give up. That night, Kai lay on his simple bed in the dormitory. The other cadets were asleep, but he could not rest. He replayed every failure in his mind. The lifting, the running, the energy control. He had failed in every exercise. Yet he could not ignore the feeling inside him that told him he had potential. He got up quietly, moving to a small balcony outside his room. He looked at the city of Zorath, glowing with lights and energy, and at the floating platforms moving in the sky. A voice whispered in his mind, "Humans have survived harsh worlds. Humans have faced danger and survived. You are a human. You can do this." Kai clenched his fists. He did not know how, but he would find a way to improve. He would find a way to survive, to impress, and to prove that even a human could be strong in a world of aliens. The next morning, the mocking continued. Kor and others pushed Kai around in the training yard. "You call that a swing? You are embarrassing yourself." Kai refused to reply. Instead, he watched the alien warriors carefully. He noticed patterns in their movements. He noticed how they relied on brute strength. He noticed how they left openings when attacking. His mind worked faster than his body. He could not match them in strength yet, but he could outthink them. During one exercise, Kor challenged Kai to a duel. Other cadets gathered to watch, expecting a quick defeat. Kai gripped his sword tightly and focused. Kor swung hard, aiming to knock him down, but Kai sidestepped barely. His movements were clumsy, but he adapted quickly, noticing Kor's predictable rhythm. Kor grew frustrated. "You are lucky, human." "That was just luck." Kai did not respond. He kept moving, using his speed and thinking to stay out of harm's way. He could see the advantage humans had. Strength could be matched with cleverness. Endurance could overcome power. After several minutes, Kor missed an attack and Kai managed to push him back slightly. The crowd murmured. No human had ever stood up to Kor like that before. Kor glared at Kai but did not strike again. Kai's chest heaved. He was exhausted, but a small spark of pride grew inside him. He had survived even if only a little, and he had shown that humans could adapt. That evening, as Kai practiced alone in the yard, he noticed a figure watching him from the shadows. A massive alien, taller and broader than any cadet with glowing golden eyes, observed silently. Kai did not recognize him, but he felt a strange sense of calm. It was as if the observer understood him. Kai whispered to himself, "I will not fail. I will survive. I will show them humans are stronger than they think." The figure in the shadows nodded slightly and disappeared before anyone else could see. Kai did not know who it was, but he felt encouraged. He did not know what challenges lay ahead, but he was ready to face them. The first day ended, and Kai returned to his dorm, tired but determined. He knew the academy would continue to challenge him. He knew the alien cadets would continue to mock him. But he also knew one thing clearly: he would not be defeated by ridicule or fear. He would grow stronger. In that moment, Kai understood something important. Strength is not only measured by size or power, it is measured by courage, persistence, and the will to rise again after failure. Humans had survived countless dangers on their home planet. Humans had built civilizations despite obstacles. And Kai, a human among aliens, would find his place among warriors, not by matching them at first, but by outthinking and enduring. Kai lay down that night with his mind buzzing, not with fear, but with ideas. He would train in secret. He would learn the alien techniques and adapt them to himself. He would not only survive, but also thrive. The mocking voices of the cadets would not define him. And somewhere, unseen, the golden-eyed warrior watched, knowing this human had something rare, a spark that could become a fire. Kai closed his eyes and whispered, "I am human. I will prove it." The next morning, Kai woke before the sun rose over Zorath. The academy's floating spires glowed faintly in the early light. The air was filled with the sound of alien cadets training, their energy blast cracking through the sky. Kai dressed quickly and left the dorm quietly, determined to find a place to train where no one could mock him. He remembered a narrow hallway he had explored the day before. At the end, he found a door partially hidden behind a glowing panel. Curious, he pushed it open and discovered a small chamber, dimly lit and empty. Inside, the walls were lined with ancient weapons and strange training devices. It seemed untouched for years. Kai's eyes widened. This could be his secret place. Here he could practice without being laughed at or pushed aside. He stepped in and tested the floor. It was strong, able to handle heavy impacts. He picked up a training sword from the wall. It was lighter than the ones in the yard, but still sturdy. Kai began swinging it slowly, focusing on technique instead of strength. He watched his movements in a polished metal panel that acted like a mirror. His swings were awkward at first, but after several minutes he noticed improvements. His arms moved faster, his steps were more precise, and he began to anticipate the motion of his own strikes. The hours passed quickly. Kai barely noticed the sun rising fully above the horizon. He felt tired but alive. Every strike, every movement reminded him why he had come. He was not just learning to fight. He was learning to survive, to adapt, to use his human mind to overcome challenges. As he rested against the wall, catching his breath, a shadow fell across the chamber entrance. Kai turned sharply. Standing there was a massive figure, taller than any cadet he had seen, with broad shoulders and glowing golden eyes. The alien exuded power, yet his gaze was calm and observant. "You have potential," the alien said in a deep, resonant voice. "Most fail quickly. Most give up, but you persist." Kai swallowed nervously. "Who are you?" The alien's lips curved slightly into a faint smile. I am Rawl. Some call me the strongest warrior in the academy. I have watched many cadets and few have the spark I see in you. Kai's heart raced. The strongest warrior in the academy had noticed him. He bowed slightly. I am honored to meet you, Rawl. I will work hard, Rawl nodded. I do not doubt your effort. But effort alone is not enough. Strength must be combined with strategy, with understanding of your own abilities. Watch carefully. Learn. Adapt. Humans can surprise us if they know how to use their minds as weapons. Kai listened intently. Every word seemed like a key to unlocking something within him. He realized Rawl was not just talking about strength. He was talking about intelligence, creativity, endurance, the very things humans excelled at. You have been mocked by the other cadets, Rawl continued. Do not let their words define you. They focus only on power and size, but you have something they cannot measure. Use it, Kai nodded, feeling a surge of determination. I understand. I will not let them make me feel weak. I will learn and grow. Rawl studied him for a moment. Come back tomorrow. I will observe you again. For now, train and adapt. Humans are interesting creatures. I want to see what you can do when no one is looking. Kai bowed again. Thank you, Rawl. After Rawl left, Kai continued to train. He experimented with different techniques, combining alien movements with his own human instincts. He learned to use agility instead of brute force. He learned to predict attacks by observing patterns. He learned to conserve energy and strike only when necessary. Days passed and Kai's secret training became a ritual. While the other cadets focused on showing off in the yard, Kai honed his skills in silence. He grew faster, smarter, and more confident. He began to see advantages humans had over larger, stronger opponents. His mind became as much a weapon as his sword. One evening, while practicing, Kai noticed that the door to the chamber was slightly open. He froze, ready to hide, but it was Rawl again. The golden-eyed warrior entered silently, watching Kai move with a mixture of curiosity and approval. You're improving faster than I expected, Rawl said. Most would take weeks to reach this level. You, however, have adapted in days. Kai wiped sweat from his brow. I'm trying my best. I want to show that humans are not weak. I want to survive here, Rawl nodded. Survival is only the first step. To truly thrive, you must understand more than technique. You must understand your enemies, your environment, and yourself. Humans have something unique, creativity. Use it, Kai felt inspired. He began to imagine new ways to fight, combining alien strength with human cleverness. He devised strategies for dealing with multiple opponents, traps, and unexpected challenges. He practiced mental calculations as well as physical movements, turning every weakness into a potential advantage. One night, as he rested against the wall, he realized something. The mocking cadets had assumed he was powerless because they measured strength by size alone. But size did not matter if Kai could outthink them. Humans could survive and even excel because their minds could adapt. Over the following week, Kai's confidence grew. He could now perform moves that were once impossible. He could dodge energy blasts with precise timing. He could counter attacks by anticipating patterns. And, most importantly, he was no longer afraid of being humiliated. The other cadets noticed changes as well. Kor tried to challenge him again, confident Kai would fail. But this time Kai moved with purpose. He dodged, countered, and even blocked some of Kor's attacks. The yard fell silent as the cadets watched. A human, small and untrained at first, was holding his own. Kor's face turned red with anger. Impossible. How are you still standing? Kai lowered his sword calmly. I learned. I adapted. You underestimated me. The cadets whispered among themselves. Some looked impressed. Others scowled. No one expected a human to survive a duel with Kor. Kai smiled slightly. This was only the beginning, but it was proof that humans could be powerful in unexpected ways. Later that evening, Kai returned to the secret chamber. Rawl was already there, observing silently. Kai bowed. You have done well, Rawl said. But do not think this is enough. You have potential, but the trials ahead will be dangerous. You must continue to grow. Strength alone will not save you. Your mind, your strategy, and your courage will be tested. Kai nodded. I understand. I will train harder. I will not fail. Rawl's eyes gleamed. Good. Tomorrow I will introduce you to a challenge that few cadets have survived. It will test everything you have learned. Are you ready? Kai straightened his back. I am ready. I will do my best. The golden-eyed warrior smiled faintly. Then we shall see what a human can do. Kai spent the rest of the night preparing mentally. He reviewed every movement, every strategy, every lesson he had learned. He visualized the challenges, imagining how he would adapt to each one. His confidence grew with each thought. Humans had survived countless dangers on their home planet. Humans had invented, adapted, and overcome. And Kai would prove that this human spirit was not just strong, it was extraordinary. As the first light of the next day touched the floating spires of Zorath, Kai stood at the edge of the secret chamber, gripping his sword. He was small compared to the other cadets. He was untrained by their standards, yet he felt powerful in a way no one could measure. Somewhere in the academy, cadets were still mocking him. But Kai no longer heard them. He only heard the voice inside him, reminding him of human courage, human ingenuity, and human persistence. Rahl appeared at the doorway, towering above him. The challenge begins soon. Remember everything you have learned. Today you will test more than your strength. You will test your mind. Humans are often underestimated. Today you will show them why. Kai nodded firmly. I will show them the human way. And with that, the secret training and the hidden potential of a human among the galaxy's strongest warriors prepared to face a challenge that would change everything. The day of the trial arrived at the Interstellar Academy. The sky above the training arena glowed with bright energy fields and floating platforms hovered high in the air. The Academy had prepared an enormous battlefield, filled with obstacles, traps, and dangerous creatures. This was not just a test of strength. It was a test of strategy, courage, and survival. Kai stepped onto the edge of the arena. His sword felt light in his hand, his body tense but ready. Around him, the alien cadets towered, flexing their muscles and demonstrating flashy techniques. Many whispered among themselves, predicting Kai's quick defeat. They still did not understand that humans had a different type of strength. The arena master, a tall alien with sharp crystalline features, addressed the cadets. Today you will face creatures and obstacles far more dangerous than anything you have encountered. Only those who can adapt will survive. Remember, this is not about power alone. It is about intelligence, courage, and endurance. Kai's heart beat fast. He glanced around and saw enormous alien cadets preparing for the trial. Kor sneered at him from across the arena. I hope you fall first, human. We cannot waste our time on you. Kai clenched his fists. He did not respond with words. He did not need to. His mind was focused. He had trained in secret with Rahl, learned patterns, and developed strategies. Today he would show that humans could survive where strength alone failed. The starting bell rang and the cadets rushed forward. Massive creatures with armored scales and sharp claws emerged from the ground, their eyes glowing with intelligence, the air filled with shrill roars and energy blasts. Most cadets relied on raw power, striking wildly at the creatures. Many were injured within minutes. Kai stayed back, observing carefully. He noted the creature's movements and patterns. One lunged high, leaving its side exposed. Another crouched low, vulnerable from behind. Kai's instincts, combined with his human ingenuity, allowed him to anticipate attacks and move quickly. He dodged, rolled, and struck only when necessary. When a large, spiked creature charged directly at him, Kai did not fight it head-on. Instead, he used the arena itself. He led the creature toward a narrow gap in the floating platforms. The creature's size made it difficult to move, and it got stuck, giving Kai a chance to escape. Other cadets watched in shock as the human used his mind rather than brute force to survive. Kor noticed Kai's clever tactics and grew furious. Impossible. He cannot survive like this. Kai ignored him, focusing on the next challenge. The arena shifted suddenly. Platforms moved, energy beams shot across the field, and traps clicked open. Many cadets panicked. They tried to rely on strength, charging blindly and falling into pits or being caught in traps. Kai moved carefully, analyzing each obstacle. He timed his jumps, calculated distances, and used his small size to slip through spaces larger cadets could not fit. Hours passed. Kai was exhausted, but he did not stop. His muscles ached, his lungs burned, yet his mind remained sharp. Humans were not the strongest physically, but humans were resilient. Humans could endure long hardships and keep thinking clearly when others gave up. As Kai advanced deeper into the arena, he reached a chamber where a massive creature waited. Its eyes glowed gold and its tail smashed the ground with enough force to crack the platforms. Most cadets would have panicked and charged blindly, but Kai observed. He noticed the creature's tail moved in predictable arcs and that its eyes occasionally focused on certain points, ignoring others. Kai took a deep breath. He remembered Ral's advice: strategy first, strength second. He ran toward a glowing platform above the creature. Jumping high, he landed behind it and struck at a vulnerable joint in its armor. The creature roared but could not reach him. Kai dodged and struck again using speed and precision. Other cadets arrived, seeing the creature distracted. They charged recklessly and were knocked back. Kai smiled slightly. The human advantage was clear. By staying calm and thinking ahead, he could survive where others failed. Suddenly, a creature with multiple limbs and spiked armor cornered him. It moved faster than the others, attacking from different directions. Kai rolled and leapt, barely escaping. He noticed a narrow corridor above, leading to a small platform. Using his agility, he climbed and swung across, avoiding direct confrontation. The creature could not reach him, and he used this time to plan his next move. Minutes turned into an hour. The arena was chaotic, filled with injured cadets and defeated creatures. Kai's endurance was tested as never before, yet he pushed forward, relying on his mind, not just his body. Every mistake he observed in others became a lesson. Every trap and creature taught him new strategies. Near the final area, Kai faced a creature larger than any before. It had crystalline armor and could emit energy waves that shattered platforms. Most cadets froze in fear. Some tried to fight directly and were thrown across the field. Kai stepped forward cautiously. He studied the creature's patterns. He noticed that after each energy wave, it paused to recharge. That was his chance. Kai timed his movement perfectly. He darted behind the creature, striking at a joint in its armor. The creature roared but could not follow. Kai used the arena's edges to his advantage, pushing the creature toward a pit. With one final maneuver, he led the creature to fall into the trap. The other cadets watched in astonishment. A human had outsmarted one of the arena's deadliest creatures. Exhausted but triumphant, Kai moved to the exit. The other cadets were in disbelief. Kor's face was red with frustration. How did you survive? Kai simply shook his head and walked past him. By thinking, he said quietly. By adapting. That is how humans survive. As Kai stepped out of the arena, he felt a presence behind him. Ral appeared, towering and calm. His golden eyes studied Kai closely. You have done more than survive. You have proven something few humans could. You used your mind, your strategy, and your persistence. That is strength. That is human strength. Kai bowed slightly, still breathing heavily. Thank you, Ral. I could not have done it without your advice. I understand now that strength is more than power. Ral nodded. Yes, strength comes in many forms. Today, you have shown the cadets something they have ignored for too long. Humans are clever, adaptable, and persistent. Never forget that. Your journey is just beginning, but you have already made a mark. The other cadets watched in silence, some in awe, some in jealousy. The mocking whispers were gone. Kai had earned respect, not by being the strongest physically, but by being smart, quick, and determined. Later in the dormitory, Kai cleaned his equipment and reflected on the day. Every challenge had tested him, but he had survived because he used the advantage humans always had: their mind. His body was exhausted, but his confidence soared. He thought of Ral's words. Humans can surprise when underestimated. He understood now that no matter how small or weak he seemed, he could outthink larger opponents. He had survived creatures, traps, and ridicule, proving that human courage and intelligence could shine even among the galaxy's strongest warriors. That night, as he lay on his bed, Kai smiled. The trial had been dangerous, but it had also been the most important lesson of all. Humans were not weak. Humans could survive, adapt, and thrive in ways others could not imagine. And he, Kai, a young human among aliens, had just shown the first proof. Somewhere above the academy, Ral observed silently, his golden eyes glowing faintly. He knew this human had potential beyond what most could imagine. Kai had not only survived, but had begun to awaken the spark that could become extraordinary. Kai closed his eyes and whispered to himself, I am human. I will continue to grow. I will show them all what humans can do. The day after the dangerous trial, the academy was buzzing with whispers. Students moved carefully, many glancing at Kai with curiosity or disbelief. A human had not only survived the trial, but had outsmarted creatures far larger and more dangerous than any cadet had faced. Some of the aliens were impressed, others annoyed that their predictions had been wrong. Kai walked through the halls with his head held high. He felt tired from the trial, but his confidence was stronger than ever. He had faced danger, survived, and proved that human ingenuity could not be ignored. Still, he knew that true recognition had yet to come. Most cadets were still skeptical. Many had not seen the mind behind the survival. He entered the training yard, where other cadets were preparing for new exercises. Kor, red-faced from the previous trial, stepped forward. "I do not understand how you survived. It is unnatural." Kai remained calm. "I survived by thinking, observing, and adapting. Humans can do more than others expect." Kor snorted. "Thinking will not save you forever. One day you will fail." Kai did not respond. He did not need to. Words were empty, actions were real, and he had proven that humans could adapt and overcome. Later that morning, a deep rumble echoed through the academy. A crowd gathered as Raal, the golden-eyed warrior, descended from the top platform. His presence alone commanded respect. Cadets straightened and watched silently, even those who had mocked Kai. Raal's gaze swept over the cadets, then stopped on Kai. His eyes glowed faintly as he approached. "Kai, human, step forward." Kai moved to the front of the crowd, his heart beating fast. He knew this moment could change everything. Raal spoke in a voice that carried across the yard. "Yesterday, a trial was held. Many cadets failed. Many were reckless. But one of you, a human, survived every challenge. Not by strength, not by size, but by intelligence, strategy, and courage. Kai has shown us that humans have potential beyond what we believed." The cadets murmured. Some were impressed, others shifted uncomfortably. Raal continued, "I have watched many cadets, trained many warriors. Few have the spark that Kai has, a spark that combines courage, mind, and endurance. For this reason, I declare Kai not only a cadet of the academy, but as my brother in spirit." Gasps echoed across the yard. To be recognized as Raal's brother was an honor beyond measure. Even the strongest warriors rarely received such acknowledgement. Kai felt a mixture of awe and humility. He bowed deeply. "Thank you, Raal. I am honored. I will continue to learn and grow." Raal placed a massive hand on Kai's shoulder, almost like a shield, showing both protection and recognition. "You have potential, Kai, but potential is only the beginning. You must continue to train, to think, to adapt. Together we will show the Academy and the galaxy the power of humans." Kai's chest swelled with pride. This was more than recognition. This was a bond. Raal, the most powerful warrior at the Academy, had acknowledged him not as a weak human but as an equal in spirit. The cadets could not hide their reactions. Kor looked furious, unable to accept that a human had earned Raal's respect. Others whispered among themselves, realizing that perhaps they had underestimated the human race for far too long. After the formal recognition, Raal led Kai to a quiet training arena. "Today, we will practice together," Raal said. "I want to see how your strategies can improve further. Humans have unique skills. Let us refine them." Kai followed eagerly. He felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Training with Raal was an opportunity he could never have imagined. The training began with simple exercises, but Raal quickly increased the difficulty. He attacked with movements faster than Kai had ever seen. His energy strikes were precise, powerful, and unpredictable. Most cadets would have been overwhelmed immediately. Kai, however, remained calm. He dodged, blocked, and countered. He did not match Raal in strength, but he used strategy, timing, and adaptability. He analyzed patterns, calculated distances, and found weak points in Raal's attacks. Each move was a lesson. Each action taught him how to think faster, act smarter, and survive in ways that brute force could not accomplish. Hours passed. Kai's arms ached, his legs trembled, but he continued. Raal observed closely. correcting him when necessary but mostly letting Kai find solutions on his own. Every time Kai succeeded, Raul nodded in approval. "You are learning quickly," Raul said during a brief pause. "Few have your combination of endurance and intelligence. Many are strong, but they do not survive trials because they lack adaptability. You, human, have both." Kai wiped sweat from his forehead. "I learned from my failures," he admitted. "I realized that strength alone is not enough. Strategy, thinking, and patience matter just as much." Raul smiled faintly. "Exactly. Humans have survived countless worlds and challenges precisely because of these qualities. You are beginning to show the galaxy why humans are extraordinary." The training continued until the sun dipped low in the sky. Kai had learned more in a single day with Raul than he had in weeks of independent practice. But beyond skills and techniques, he understood something even more important. Respect and recognition could change everything. By evening, the academy gathered for a ceremony. Raul stood beside Kai, raising his hand to indicate the human cadet. "Let it be known," Raul declared, "that Kai is not just a survivor. He is a warrior, a thinker, and my brother in spirit. Let his courage inspire all of you." The cadets stood silently, many nodding with newfound respect. Kai's chest swelled. He realized that being recognized by someone who had witnessed the galaxy's strongest warriors was more than an honor. It was proof that humans could rise above expectations, no matter how small or underestimated. After the ceremony, some cadets approached him cautiously. "I did not think a human could survive the trial," admitted one. "You are impressive." Another whispered, "We were wrong. Humans are clever. Maybe we should learn from you." Even Kor did not speak. His pride was wounded, but he could not deny Kai's accomplishments. Kai smiled politely. "Thank you. I only did what humans have always done. We survive, adapt, and keep going." That night, Kai returned to the secret chamber where he had first begun training. He reflected on everything he had learned. Recognition was powerful, but the journey was far from over. He knew the academy had more challenges ahead, and the galaxy would test him in ways he could not yet imagine. Still, Kai felt a deep sense of purpose. He was not only a cadet now, but a symbol of human potential. He had shown that even a small human could stand among the galaxy's strongest warriors. His mind, courage, and persistence had earned him respect. His spirit had earned him a brother in Raul. He sat quietly, thinking about the future. Humans were underestimated in the galaxy. Other species focused on size, power, and flashy abilities. But humans could endure, learn, and innovate. Kai knew that if he continued to grow, there would be no limit to what humans could achieve. Somewhere above the academy, Raul watched silently. He understood the weight of his recognition. By declaring Kai as his brother, he had given the human more than status. He had given him a chance to inspire the galaxy. He had placed his trust in Kai's intelligence, courage, and adaptability. And Raul knew that this human had the potential to exceed all expectations. Kai closed his eyes, thinking of the trials to come. "I will continue to train. I will continue to learn. I will show the galaxy what humans can do," he whispered. And in that quiet moment, a bond between the strongest warrior in the academy and the human cadet was sealed. Kai's journey was far from over, but he had taken the first step toward proving that humans, though small in size, could shine brighter than anyone expected. The academy had changed that day. The whispers of mockery had faded. A new respect had been earned. And the young human, Kai, now carried the weight of expectation, the power of recognition, and the determination to show that humans were extraordinary. Weeks passed since Kai had been recognized as Raul's brother. The academy had changed its atmosphere. Where mockery once filled the halls, whispers of respect and curiosity now replaced it. Cadets watched Kai with new eyes, wondering how a human could survive where the strongest aliens struggled. Kai continued his training with Raul daily. Every session was more challenging than the last. Raul tested him not only physically but mentally. Kai learned to anticipate attacks, use the environment to his advantage, and blend human cleverness with alien strength. He was no longer the small, untrained cadet who had arrived weeks ago. He was a strategist, a thinker, and a warrior in his own right. One day, Raul spoke as they trained. "Kai, you have learned well. But survival is only the first step. True strength comes when you use your abilities to help others, to inspire, and to create change. Today I will introduce you to an opportunity to show leadership among the cadets." Kai listened carefully. He felt a mixture of excitement and responsibility. He knew that humans had always survived and thrived by not only fighting, but also by leading and teaching. Raul led him to the main arena, where a group of cadets struggled with a new challenge. The task was to navigate a maze filled with traps, obstacles, and creatures, while rescuing small creatures trapped inside. Many cadets were reckless, rushing ahead with brute force, and were caught or injured. "You will lead them," Raul said. "Show them how strategy and intelligence can succeed where power alone fails." Kai took a deep breath. He had been mocked, doubted, and underestimated, but now he had the chance to guide others. He studied the maze from the top platform, noting its traps and creature movements. Then he descended and addressed the cadets. "Listen to me," Kai said. "Rushing forward will not work. We need to move carefully, observe, and adapt. We will survive if we think, not if we rely only on strength. Follow my lead." Some cadets hesitated. Many were still skeptical of a human leading them. Kor crossed his arms and scowled, but did not interrupt. Kai's calm confidence and clear instructions slowly gained their attention. The team entered the maze together. Kai moved swiftly, pointing out weak points in creature behavior, guiding cadets around traps and helping them use their skills effectively. The cadets followed, amazed at how efficiently the team progressed. When a massive creature blocked their path, Kai did not charge blindly. Instead, he noticed the creature paused periodically, and its side was exposed after each attack. He directed one cadet to create a distraction, while he led another to strike at the vulnerable point. The creature fell, and the cadets cheered in surprise. By the time they reached the center of the maze, all trapped creatures were rescued, and the cadets had avoided serious injury. Many of them looked at Kai with newfound respect. The human who had been mocked was now a leader, a guide, and an example of human ingenuity. After the exercise, Raul appeared and addressed the cadets. "Observe this human, Kai. He has survived trials, outsmarted creatures, and now led others to success. Humans are not the weakest in the galaxy. They are clever, adaptable, and capable of inspiring others. Learn from him." The cadets nodded silently, some embarrassed for their earlier behavior, others inspired. Kai felt a warmth in his chest. He realized that survival was important, but the ability to lead and influence others was even greater. Humans could make a difference not only by fighting, but also by thinking and guiding. In the weeks that followed, Kai's reputation grew. Cadets sought his advice, asking how he solved problems, how he planned his strategies, and how he stayed calm under pressure. He shared his methods, teaching others to observe, adapt, and act with purpose. The academy slowly began to value strategy and intelligence alongside raw strength. Kor, though still competitive, approached Kai one day. "I never thought I would say this, but you are impressive. Your mind and tactics. I have learned more from you than I ever expected." Kai smiled. "Thank you. Strength is not just about power. It is about thinking, adapting, and using every advantage." The atmosphere in the academy transformed. Humans were no longer seen as small or weak. They were respected for their courage, ingenuity, and persistence. Kai had not only survived and earned recognition from Raul, but had begun to change the way the entire academy viewed humans. One evening, Raul approached Kai again. "You have done more than survive trials. You have inspired others, changed perceptions, and shown that humans are extraordinary. This is the true mark of strength, making an impact that lasts." Kai felt proud, but he remained humble. "I only followed what humans have always done. We survive, adapt, and find ways to overcome obstacles. I only applied it here." Raul nodded. "And that is why you will continue to grow. Together, we will show the galaxy the potential of humans. Your journey is only beginning." Kai spent the next months training, learning, and teaching. He combined human ingenuity with alien techniques, creating strategies that no cadet had seen before. The academy's instructors began to observe and take notes. Humans, long underestimated, were now a source of fascination. During another trial, cadets faced a simulated invasion. While other cadets relied on brute force, Kai devised a plan that used speed, traps, and clever positioning. The team moved like a single unit, avoiding danger while capturing key points. They succeeded with minimal losses. The Academy instructors praised Kai's leadership, noting that humans could achieve extraordinary results through thinking and strategy. By the end of the semester, Kai's human legacy was evident. Cadets looked to him not just as a peer but as a teacher and innovator. He had proven that size and power were not the only measures of strength. Cleverness, persistence, and courage could turn even the smallest human into a powerful force. Rahl often trained with him privately, continuing to challenge him. "You have learned much, Kai," Rahl said one day. "But remember, humans can go beyond survival. You have shown the galaxy what humans are capable of. Never stop learning, adapting, and inspiring others." Kai nodded. "I will. Humans have always found ways to overcome challenges. I will continue to prove that we can thrive anywhere." As the academy year came to a close, Kai stood on the top platform overlooking the students. He saw the respect in their eyes, the curiosity in their faces, and the way they approached challenges with a new understanding. Humans had left a mark on the academy, and it all began with his determination to survive, to adapt, and to prove the power of human ingenuity. Even Kor, once mocking and arrogant, now nodded in acknowledgement. "I understand now. Humans are clever, stronger than I thought." Kai smiled quietly. "Strength comes in many forms. Humans survive by thinking, adapting, and enduring. That is our way." The golden light of Zorath reflected in his eyes. He knew the journey ahead would be even greater. The galaxy was vast and humans were underestimated in many places. But Kai had started a legacy here. He had shown that humans could rise not by matching raw power, but by using courage, intelligence, and ingenuity to change the world around them. Rahl approached once more. "You have done well, Kai. The Academy and the galaxy will remember your efforts. Humans are not just survivors. They are innovators, leaders, and warriors. You have proven it." Kai felt a sense of peace and pride. He thought of his home, of Earth, and of the human spirit that had brought him this far. Humans had always faced challenges that seemed impossible, yet they endured. Now, in a galaxy full of powerful aliens, humans had a place, a voice, and the potential to shine. As the academy lights dimmed and the cadets retired for the night, Kai looked at the stars above Zorath. He knew his journey was only beginning. There would be greater challenges, stronger opponents, and tests that would push him to the limit. But Kai was ready. He whispered softly to himself, "Humans can do more than they are given credit for. I will continue to show the galaxy what we can achieve." And so, the young human who had once been mocked and underestimated became a symbol of human courage, ingenuity, and persistence. Kai's legacy at the academy grew, and the story of a small human surviving the impossible spread among cadets and instructors alike. Humans were no longer seen as weak. They were respected, admired, and recognized as a force to be reckoned with. Kai's journey had begun with survival, continued through recognition, and culminated in leadership and legacy. The galaxy had seen the human spirit at its finest, and Kai had proven that even the smallest human could leave a mark that would endure. The academy, the cadets, and the creatures they faced would never forget the human who had shown them that courage, intelligence, and determination could overcome even the greatest obstacles. Kai had not just survived, he had changed the way the galaxy viewed humans forever.